All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachakodash. Double honors unto the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. Peace and salutation to the Achiam and to the elect that are scattered throughout the four corners of this earth, pushing this truth out in faith and sincerity. I'm the brother Shema from the GMS Houston camp, and this is going to be another Stoic lesson. And as you can see, the quote is right here before you. All right, by Marcus Aurelius. All right, and like I said, these lessons are intended to take the Stoic quotes and basically relay them, compare them, unto the scriptures. All right, because the scriptures, all right, explains all of these things. All right, and all wisdom comes from Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai in the first place. Okay, so yeah, just taking these quotes and then just using the scriptures to, further expound and explain things. All right, and Stoicism is a way of life, a way that you view things, your character, right? Being austere and all of these particular things. Okay, so let's get into the quote. It says, the object of life is not to be on the side of the majority, but to escape finding oneself in the ranks of the insane. Okay? So, it's not about following the majority. Okay? So, the majority of the people could be, doing a particular thing, right? Or having a particular belief. Okay? That does not make it right. The more people, right, that are doing something does not make whatever is being done, in right act. No matter how many the numbers are. So nobody should have, the follow the crowd mentality. Because a lot of people follow the crowd because that's the easy thing to do. That's not. You're not going against the grain. If everybody is doing something and you do it, then you're most likely, will be liked by those people or deemed normal or whatever the case may be, right? And you just want to fit in, all right? But in this truth, right, we are not going to fit in with this world. We are going to stand out, all right? Through the wisdom, knowledge, understanding that we have received. All right, because the Lord has sanctified us and made us holy again, and holy means separate. So he's going to separate us, right, from the masses. Okay? And we are supposed to follow what the scriptures say, and what the scriptures say is right, no matter how many people believe the opposite end, or the opposite, doctrine, or these different gods, or none of that matters, right? Scriptures say that a remnant was going to return to the Lord, a small number, right? So the numbers does not dictate what is truth and what is wrong, right? Or what is right or what is wrong, or what is truth and what is false, okay? You should take numbers out of the equation, because that doesn't matter. That's irrelevant, okay? What do the scriptures say? Always got to resort back into the scriptures. But let's go to Exodus 23:2. It says, thou shalt not follow a multitude to do evil, neither shalt thou speak in a cause to decline after many to wrest judgment. So it says, thou shalt not follow a multitude, right, to do evil. So following the crowd, what they call the herd mentality. You shouldn't follow what everybody else is doing. All right, just because everybody else is doing it. All right, you got to have your own mind. And your mind, right, has to be patterned, after the scriptures, after Yahweh Shai. You got to walk in the spirit. Because the herd mentality, you just following around, you ain't thinking, you just moving or seeing like it's right, because everybody, no, that's the wrong spirit to be in. It says, neither shall thou speak in a cause to decline after many to wrest judgment, right? A particular, judgment is coming down, and You got, a lot of people, right, that may be, let's just say speaking evil, or trying to give the wrong judgment, right? And you kind of going along with it. Like, oh, okay, yeah. No, you're supposed to go against that. Okay? So because of the majority of people is saying something, I don't mean you just hop on that and, just go with the flow. Okay? But it says, this is Matthew 7:13, enter ye in at the straight gate, for wide is the gate and broad is the way that leadeth to destruction, and many there be which go in there, right? So it's enter ye in at the straight gate, which is that path of difficulty, which the truth is that path of difficulty, right? Going through the trials and the tribulations. But it says, for wide is the gate and broad is the way that leadeth to destruction, and many there be which go in there, right? So the gate which is going to lead to destruction, many people is going to be going through here. Okay? And mainly this is dealing with all people, right? The Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. All right? So the wicked of all people. All right? The multitude is going to be, many people. It's like Zechariah 13:8 says, about 2/3 of all people, right? It says 2/3 of all people will be destroyed. All right? Over here in Babylon the Great. All right? America. That's a lot of people. All right, so you're going to have many people, right, which think they are doing right, and which think whatever they believe in or whatever that's the right thing, all right, but they're going to die. So that's why you shouldn't pay attention to numbers or have a herd mentality, following the crowd. All right, no, we got to go against the grain. We're supposed to hate this place. We're not here to fit in. We're not here to be friends with everybody. All right? We're not trying to, start trouble and, do this and that, right? Cause problems, But when it comes to the scripture, when it comes to righteousness, we stick to this. All right, this is what we supposed to walk after, no matter what people saying in the world. All right? No matter what your family say, no matter what's on, TV or, no matter what the goddamn president say, none of that matters, right? None of that matters. But it said, because straight is the gate and narrow is the way which leadeth unto life, and few there be that find it. So the way unto life, few is going to find that. That's that remnant. Okay? And this is what we got to strive to be a part of. This is 2nd Ezra chapter 8:1. It says, and he answered me, saying, the Most High had made this world for many, but the world to come for few. So this world was made for many, right? For many people, but for the kingdom that's going to be set up, only few that's going to be able to make that. All right, because these few, right, was separated from everybody else and followed after Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, right? And the world is not going to be following this particular way. It's not going to have this particular mindset, right? It's not going to come back into the ways, of our heritage, right? And I'm speaking of the world of Israel, okay? And, everybody else outside of that, right? This whole world is ran by the wicked, so it's going to be contrary to what the scriptures say. All right, so like I said, we're going to stand out, and that's okay. We're going to be hated, and that's okay. All right. When you read verse 3, it says, there be many created, but few shall be saved. All right. So it says many created, but few shall be saved. So a lot of people are not going to make it. Okay. So if you follow in the majority, right, then you most likely, right, are going to be destroyed along with them. Right. You're on the wrong path. You're going through that wide gate. All right. You got to turn the other way, right, and follow after the words of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai and go through that straight gate. Proverbs 14:12, there is a way which seemeth right unto a man, but the end thereof are the ways of death, right? So you can think that something is right. You can think that, this is the right decision, or, a lot of people can be thinking that in their minds, and the way that they're moving, the way they're behaving, this is the correct way. But if it is not patterned after the scriptures, if the scriptures is not a reference or a standard in their lives, right, or in all the decision making, right, moving in the spirit, the endure of the ways of death. It's going to lead into death. It's going to lead into destruction, right? It's going to lead into a terrible judgment for the Most High, okay? Because what you think is right does not matter if it does not go back into the scriptures. So we always got to be rooted. We always got to go back onto what this book says, okay? 2 Corinthians 6:17, wherefore come out from among them and be ye separate, saith the Lord, and touch not the unclean thing, and I will receive you, right? So it says come out from among them and be separate. So this is what we are supposed to do. This is what's commanded of us, to be separate from these people, which is to be holy. And what makes us holy? The law, statute, and the commandments, following after these scriptures. This is going to make us holy. This is going to separate us and make us clean, right, to Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, to the Spirit. Okay? So don't worry about what the majority may think, or if the majority don't believe in this truth, or the majority, talk down on this truth and call us weird and call us this, and that. That's fine. The Lord is, remember that the Lord is not dealing with the majority. Okay? It's going to be few that be saved. So you got to, keep that in your mind. Okay? Majority of these people will be put to death by Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. All right? So, that's the lesson. I hope this was edifying. With that, I'm going to say shalom.